So here we are, week 2 in our greenhouse, and after the first week we have absolutely no movement here in our pots. But having checked the temperature in the greenhouse, it's quite low in the evenings. So what we've done is gone out and we've got ourselves an electric propagator. We can see here it's a Stewart propagator, and it will keep the temperature somewhere between 15 and 20, which is suitable for germination. So we're ready to go with this, and we only have one plug. So we're going to have to plug in the heated propagator on its own. So the ambient temperature of the greenhouse will drop. But according to the instructions for the heated propagator, it says because it's non-thermostatically controlled, it would keep an average of about 10 to 15 degrees C above the ambient temperature. So we've brought along a maximum thermometer, and we'll be checking that over the next few days to see what the ambient temperature is, so that hopefully this will give us the correct temperature for seed germination. Once we get it plugged in, what we can do is we can start to put some of our other pots in there, and we can now start sowing some more seeds in half pans or even in some more of these ordinary pots. So what we're going to do is to keep these in here, but I'll keep the tops on them, because the idea is that as the water evaporates from the compost, it condensates on the outside of the cover and runs down the sides and back into the compost again. So we have a complete cycle going on there with the water, which helps to prevent it from drying out too much. So we're going to pop these in here, and then we're going to do some without. But in the bottom of there, what we ideally need is a little bit of capillary matting, which we have at home, and we're going to cut a bit out and just put that in the base, and it'll keep it nice and moist in there, and then the cover goes back over the top and we get the same idea going on in there. Right, so what we're going to do is put the compost into the trays, and one of the easiest way to make sure that you've got it fairly even, especially when you're using self trays, is to make sure you run it between your fingers, break up all the big lumps, remove all the lumps you can, hold it between your hands and start at the edges and not in the middle, as some people will explain to you. So start round the edges and rub it between your fingers so that we can get it all the way in until it fills up. We want it just filling over the top like so. So start like that. Most people do it in the middle to begin with, and then of course you get too much in the middle and then you don't get so much round the sides, so it's much more compacted in the middle than it is round the sides. So right, so then what you do is just dunk it down like that, and then score it off using something, any tool that you have, and then we should have a fairly even, in which we can just break down some of the bigger lumps, and there we go, smoothed off, all ready to go. So we can plant our seeds in there. So we're going to do half a dozen of these aubergines. These ones are a new variety, they're called Pot Black, and Sandra won these from Mr. Fothergill, so thank you very much, Mr. Fothergill. So what we're going to do is to pop these in. Doesn't say how many seeds are in the bag, so have a look in here. Well, we've got about 10 or 12 or something. So we want half dozen seeds, so we can actually count them out, half dozen seeds like so, and we've got 1 or 2 still in the packet. So we can, if we very carefully push our seeds in there, as you crease your hand up there, what we have here is we have been provided with a sewing crease. So you do that, and then we can just gently tap on your wrist, and then you can see the seeds walking along. Some of them are walking a bit too fast. There we go, we got one struck in there, and then we can continue like that, putting the seeds in one at a time. I mean, they're a bit bigger, these ones, but when it comes to the really small ones, you can actually see them drop off. There we go, and there we have them. Right, not forget to put the label in. Right, and then we'll just push them down very gently into the compost. Cover them over with a little bit of compost like so. These are nice and easy to do. And we go, get in there, you devil. There you go, that's that, and that's that lot. So we'll face the label in the direction that that lot is going, and there we are. And now make sure they're thoroughly watered. That's all the sowing done for this week. What we have inside here is the 3 pots from last week, and in the centre in the cell trays we've got 2 types of aubergine and 4 types of tomato. We've got half a dozen of each of the varieties, and we've got 2 pots here, one with 2 herbs in it and one with 1 herb in it. We're all ready to go with this, and because we only have 1 plug in I'm sorry, it's just
go.
So what we're going to do here is to write out the labels, and as I say, 2 important things. One is the name of the plant, and the second important thing okay.